So I'll be demonstrating on how to connect two different machines on the context of lab 5.12. So on the context of lab activity 5.1, I'll be demonstrating how to connect two different virtual machines, one being VMware and one being VirtualBox, on the same host only network. Okay, so the network is contained within the host system or the machine or laptop that you are using, instead of a network that is live and used by other people. Now, I'll be shutting off both of these systems. Okay, so let's wait for it to load, or close rather. Now, there are no guarantees that this will work all the time, but hopefully it will. So first off, I assume that you have Kali on VirtualBox and you have the Windows 2000 software, or OS rather, VM in VMware as shown here. But first we'll have to dig into VirtualBox first and check if we can configure the host only network to match the needs of our lab activity. So everything I'm doing here is similar in terms of network configuration. I'm not giving away any of the answers in NSEQ, but in terms of network configurations, here's how I did it. Okay. So in VirtualBox Manager, you have to open. Let's configure the network, the host only network. So first you have to click File, Tools, and then Network Manager. So I would assume that you only have one here typically, but if you have multiple, delete everything except one, or if you don't have one, you have to click Create. Okay, for it to create a host only network, which is part of the settings or the adapters in Windows, it would show up here, VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter. Okay, so for this one, click only host only network, so you should be in here. And then for the configurations, for adapter tab, you have to click configure manually. Okay, and set the IPv4 address into 172.0.0.1 and the network mask into 255.0.0.0. I just made it subnet 8 in order to, cover a big chunk of a network, because the IP address of 2000 is not the same as what's given on the paper in the lab activity. It's not subnet 15. It's quite far. I've redacted it so the answers wouldn't be shown, because it's pre-configured. Okay, so once you've done this and this and this, click apply. If there is a pop-up regarding user access control, just click yes. Okay, once that's done, you have to make sure that the settings have been retained, what you have set, and the apply and reset buttons have been grayed out such that you can't click it anymore. Next, go to DHCP Server and enable server if it is not enabled, and then set the server address as 172.0.0.2. Okay, and the server subnet mask as same as this one, which is /8 to 55.0.0.0, and then the lower address bound should be the preceding value of this one, which is .3, and of course the upper address bound, which is the last address to be given by the network. Okay, and then click click apply as well to make sure that the changes are saved. And then if there is a UAC, just click yes, so until it is saved. Now once that's done, let's open up Okay, go to your VM of choice. For example, let's say it's Kali, but for my example, that would be Metasploit. Click network, alright, and then make sure you have host only adapter selected, and then the virtual host only adapter selected as well. The thing with this is that it won't give you internet for your VM. If you want the internet, maybe you could just check this one, okay, enable it, and then maybe click NAT. Okay, normally you'd click NAT just to give you internet. Okay, but for our example, we don't need the internet for the VM or Kali. Well, if you want, sige, you may do so. But since this is Metasploit, I'm not expecting any internet connection at all. So you could click OK in that. That's optional though. That's optional. It's not necessary. And then click Start. Later na pala. We'll do it later. We have to go first to VMware, and then we have to configure the target machine, which is the Windows 2000. Okay, select that, and then click the Edit Virtual Machine Settings, and then Network Adapter. Okay, select the bridged option. Okay, and then click Configure Adapters, then say yes to the UAC dialog. Uncheck everything on the pop-up that may show up. Uncheck everything, and then do check the VirtualBox host only Ethernet adapter. Okay, then click OK. Okay. Now the ordering will be as follows: VM of VirtualBox first, then VM of VMware. Okay, so we'll be launching Metasploit first. Let's pretend that this is Kali on your side, so I'll be clicking Start. We'll wait for it to load. Boot up the VM first of VirtualBox. Let it finish booting up. In this case, let's have it reach the login page or the login screen, and to be able to check the IP address that the DHCP server has given us. We'll see. Let's wait for a moment here. Let me check if it's recording the audio as well. Okay, it's recording the audio, that's good. It may take a while. Metasploit machines tend to be slow. So yeah, we've done this as well. We've set these up, selected VM of choice and set to host only. Okay, then we're now going into, we have done this as well, we have done this, and we have done this. Okay, that's good, and then maybe this will be for later. Sometimes, actually no, this, I don't think this is part of it anymore, since the paper mentioned that it's pre-configured. Maybe it's configured within Windows 2000. Okay, let's wait for Metasploit to load. There will be no guarantee that this will be saved once the system or the host machine has been rebooted. So hopefully it would stay. If it does, then very good, but if it does not, then too bad. But I do think it would stay, because it's a hardware level configuration. You're actually configuring a quote-unquote a driver or a network device within Windows. So yeah. Okay, here is your Kali or my Metasploit. Okay, once your Kali has booted and you have logged in, maybe you could do ifconfig just to check if you have an IP address. The configuration are as follows. It should have an inet address of something along the lines of 172 that's blank dot blank dot blank, and a broadcast address of something along the lines of 172.255.255.255, and a mask of 255.0.0.0 or a /8. Okay, so we have that. We'll be now launching yung Windows 2000. As configured earlier, it should be in bridge mode and it should use the VirtualBox. Okay, so we'll launch that. Okay, let's wait for it to load. Oh yeah, I've executed off crack in live CB. Okay, so let's restart the guest without the disk. Hopefully it would proceed to Windows, and it did. Okay, let's wait for it to load. Windows 2000, the predecessor of Windows XP. Both built in NT up to Windows 7, I think, or even 10. Starting up. So once we have loaded that, so the passwords have been given to us. What is it? QWERTY. Hold on, I don't know the password. It should be QWERTY123. Okay, I've seen the password already. I've been logged in. Ha! I thought I forgot the password. Okay. So let's check command prompt. Actually, before that, there will be changes to the network. So you have to open settings. Actually, it's here. Settings and then network. Then click LAN or local area networks, and then properties. Okay, and then you have to do TCP IP and then properties, and then change the subnet mask. It should be /8, so 000, and then click OK, and then OK, and then OK. You may have to do ipconfig/release to force the IP address currently used by the system to be removed. Okay. And then you just have to renew. For some reason mine doesn't work, but yeah. Let's check the IP of this system. So yeah, maybe you cannot raise because it's static. That makes sense. Okay. Sige. So if config, you could see the IP address of the machine is the 172.10.2.18, which is far from the 172.0.0.3. That's the reason why I set the subnet mask into /8, because so that it would be able to cover all subnets from 0 here all the way to whatever number, which is 254. Okay. Now let's go to our MSF or a Metasploit, and then do a ping of the machine. So 172.10.2.18, and then the Windows one for sanity check and to make sure that the transmission goes both ways. You could do 172.0.0.3-T, prolong it, and then there you go, it's connected. Sometimes it will be slow for some reason. The the other side. I don't know why. Congestion for some reason, but it should not be like that. For as long as the the pings are going, it should be fine. Now remember, I did say that Metasploit here, or the VirtualBox, has NAT. So for example, this is your Kali, the VirtualBox is your Kali, and I did say adapter 2 can be set as NAT for it to have internet. So let's try google.com. If it doesn't, then it means DNS issues maybe. Yeah, maybe it doesn't work, or maybe I have disabled it. Yeah. Network NAT, huh, weird. Okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't. Wait, how about an IP, an actual IP? Okay, yeah, it doesn't work. Okay, fair. Okay, so the point that I'm trying to point out lang naman is for both systems to be able to see each other via ping, then you have to do what you have to do based on the paper's instructions. So that's all. Okay, I'll be including the instructions on the description. Do remember always this principle of enabling or launching the VM of VirtualBox first, then after, then you will launch the VM of VMware, or in this case Kali, I guess, maybe, and then Windows 2000, the victim. So there's that. Now the assumption goes here that you have installed VMware Community Edition, or the non-commercial use. For what I know, VMware only allows VMware non-commercial allows single VM instance, okay, at a time. It cannot do 2 instances like you could in VirtualBox. Okay, so yeah, that's all for the instructions. Thank you for listening.